Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we are going to be talking about Kurt Cobain's Mustang, 1993 Fender Mustang, the last Mustang he ever played on stage. This is the one that he used in Munich, Germany, and it is expecting to fetch around $1 to $2 million. It was made in Japan. And this thing was basically brand new when he bought it in 1993. You know, he passed away, what was it, April, I believe, 94, if I remember correctly, or suicide, I should say. And this guitar was probably not played that much. They said he was starting to use it a lot on stage. He ordered like 10 of them at the time for it, and this is one that he favored and used during their last performance ever, and it wouldn't surprise me if this went for more than $2 million. We've seen Kurt Cobain guitars get more money than that, but let's take a look here. So it says the Japanese Mustang, aka the Skystang, was used at Nirvana's final show in Munich, Germany. It's expected to fetch between $1 and $2 million. Just when we think we've seen the last one of Kurt Cobain's mega auctions, something else comes along. I mean, yeah, this guy was touring. Yes, he was only touring for several years, but at the same time, he smashed a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of smashed instruments you can buy off of him. There's a lot of picks he threw into the crowd, and there's a lot of guitars he had, because you smash a bunch of them, you gotta buy more of them. So there you go. This is when we think we've seen the last Kurt Cobain's mega auction. Something else comes with that blows your mind. Now, Julian's Auctions has announced that a made-in-Japan Fender Mustang electric guitar used by Kurt Cobain at his final public performance with Nirvana is going under the hammer. And this one looks in really good condition. I feel like he used this maybe a couple dozen times. Oh, there is a bit of a smack there. Okay, there might be a little bit of a whack on the bottom. Yeah, there's some cracks in the finish. But, you know, you're talking a 30-year-old guitar at this point. Former Nirvana guitar technician Ernie Bailey refers to this Electric View Mustang as a Nirvana frontman's workhorse, reads the Julian Auction listing. From its in utero debate on October 18, 1993 at the Arizona State Fair Veterans Memorial Coliseum to the band's final performance on March 1st, 1994 at Terminal 1 Munich. This stored guitar was used during 53 of the 63 in utero tour performances in the band's final chapter. So he used this a lot. He used this on stage a lot. The Skystang was one of 10 left-handed Mustang models reportedly bought by the guitarist ahead of the tour, but clearly became one of his go-tos as the show progressed. It's distinguished by the combination of its electric view finish, a unique yellow V-shape on the tortoiseshell style pickguard with a white humbucker in the bridge position. There's also a sizable crack on the rear of the instrument running from the neck to the heel to about halfway down the body. Of course, provenance is everything. Celebrity Gear Auctions, the Skystang has that in spades. There is official footage of Cobain playing it at Munich, so, you know, when you see them play the guitar and have a video of it, more money, for a tongue-in-cheek cover of The Cars by My Best Friend's Girl. It was also used for nearly all the band's MTV Live and Loud shows in December of '93. It's previously been on display in the Seattle Museum of Pop Culture. And if it's not good enough for you, it is currently owned by Chad Cobain, the late frontman's brother. Okay, so his brother owns this at the moment. Kurt Cobain's final interview in Guitar World back in '93. He discussed his reason for playing the Mustang. I don't favor them, I can afford them, he joked to Guitar World at the time. Yeah, at 1993, he could afford whatever instrument he wanted. Let's be real. It might have been what originally he could afford, and I think that's what it was. I think that's the reason he used a lot of them, is because they weren't at the time, they weren't extremely popular, and you could go to a pawn shop and get them for a reasonable price. This day and age, no, not even going to happen. You're lucky if you can find a made in Mexico one, used for under $1,000 at this point. Squire, yeah, sure, but not like Fender on the headstock. So I'm left-handed. It's not very easy to find a reasonably priced, high-quality left-handed guitar. But of all the guitars in the whole world, the Fender Mustang is my favorite. At that point, Cobain only owned 2 of them. The affirmative order of 10 lefties came in July of 1993. Current estimate on the Skystang is between $1 and $2 million, but other notable Cobain instruments have far exceeded that. Cobain's Smells Like Teen Spirit Mustang, I would say that's probably the most, iconic Mustang ever, fetched $4.5 million. And his MTV Unplugged Martin D18 went for over $6 million. So I can definitely see this probably hitting closer to $4 million. Being that there's a lot of rich guys out there with deep pockets that like Nirvana, and maybe they missed the first two, and maybe they'll get the third one. Placing at the top of the pile when it comes to the most expensive guitars sold at auction. This, along with Eric Clapton's iconic Gibson SG Fool, which is also going up for auction, would seem to be prime candidates for Jim Israel's billion-dollar guitar collection. Jim Israel. Doesn't that guy own a baseball team or something? Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts. Is that football or baseball? I'm bad with sports, so you can tell me. But it wouldn't, as I said, a rich guy is going to get this. I mean, if you have the money, that's really, really cool. Kind of wish it would just stay in the museum so people can actually see it, you know. But it is what it is. Museums need money too, so sometimes they got to let something go. Although at the same time, this is his brother selling it, so maybe his brother just needs some money, you know. Maybe he's got a couple of these. He was like, you know what? I need some money. I'm in a little bit of a pinch. I can get rid of one of them. You know, maybe I can get rid of one of them. But this is a really cool. Well, it's just a really cool guitar. I like the way this thing looks. Yeah, it's beat up and battered and got some issues. We can actually go to the auction website if you want to see some, you know, up close personal. Because from far away, it looks beautiful. You know, the front of it looks perfectly fine. Yeah, there's a dent there. Okay, there's some scratches. But my guess, just looking at the back of it, is this thing got dropped at some point, just based on the cracks. So are they finished cracks? Are they structural cracks? That's something, if you're going to actually play it, you may want to know. But to me, that looks like it fell from a height that cracked it pretty bad. Now, is that something that Kurt Cobain did? Is that something that happened, you know, later on down the line? Who knows? But it fell, it whacked the neck pretty good, and you can see major cracks. Now, a lot of Fenders, you see small finish cracks in the neck pocket. You know, I personally don't like that, but to a lot of people, it's no big deal. It doesn't mean it went into the wood. In this case, it kind of looks like it went into the wood. I mean, this thing is beat up. You know, this guitar was only played by him for a year. Who knows how much his brother actually played this thing. But it'll be interesting to see what it ends up fetching at the auction block. Because, I mean, if I had the money, maybe. I'll be honest with you. If I had the money, I think I would just like to own anything that Kurt Cobain, any guitar that Kurt Cobain owned, even though I'm a righty. So I would need to find one of those, one of his guitars where he flipped it, and then I would flip it back to the right direction. Haha. But really cool, interesting to see, you know, these things pop up, and you're not going to see it pop up for a while. So take it in, click through the images, save them on your computer if you want to awe at it and be like, ooh, look at one of the last guitars he ever played. But other than that, hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.